All right, Pisces, what is up, y'all? How you doing? Guess what time it is? It's my favorite time of the month. Time for the mid-month messages. So the reason why that's my favorite time of the month is because what I'm looking for is I'm trying to see if there has been a change of timelines. We're going to see if timelines changed before we move on to the November readings. So how do timelines change? That's easy. You make them change. That's the reason why I give so much advice in my readings. Because if you take the advice and you apply it, that could potentially change your timeline. So that's what we're looking for here today. For those of you interested in a personal reading, all of the information you need is down there in the description of this video. All right. Let's see what's coming in next. Is Pisces still on the same timeline with the next person coming in? Pisces still on the same timeline with the next person coming in. Who's coming in next? Woo! Could be an Aries for some of you. Emperor, though. That's a good sign. At least there's one thing about the Emperor. The Emperor ain't playing no games. Ain't playing no games, yo. So that's a good thing. It's not necessarily a guarantee that everything is going to be great, but at least it's a good thing. You don't want nobody's playing games. All right. Yeah, man. Wow. So you're finally feeling like your wish has been fulfilled. Dude, Lover's card. We've already talked about this, though, haven't we? Pretty sure if I remember correctly, pretty sure this is what came through on the main monthly, isn't it? That's your person? That's your person. You're feeling like your wishes have been fulfilled. You do feel an abnormally strong connection with this person. But honestly, I'm not saying that you've never felt a strong connection with a person before. Not saying that you've never been overwhelmed with a really intense sensation of soul recognition. Not saying that. But this is the most intense shit you've ever felt in your life. This, when you meet this person here, it takes everything that you thought you knew about human romance and throws it out the window. Throws it completely out the window. When you're connected with somebody at this level, everything you thought you knew about being in love and being connected with somebody and sharing a life with somebody and this and that, everything that your imagination ever concocted in regards to that particular subject matter is completely deleted and thrown out the window. This is so much deeper than that. So much. It makes the idea of human romance look like a stupid, silly little game, because it pretty much is. But once you meet this person, you'll see what a silly little game it is. Because this connection here ain't no joke. Could be a Leo for some of you. Who do I got here? Let's see. I got Leo. I got Gemini. I got Aries, Aquarius, and Pisces. Could be a fellow Pisces for some of you. I feel like that's your energy, though. All right. Well, let's look at their energy. Let's pick their energy apart a little bit more. What's this person's energy look like? What's their intentions look like? What kind of person are they? What's some things that we can tell Pisces? That same card I just showed you. Where is it at? Where is it at? Hang on. I just had it in this other die. There it is. That right there. Same card. Same card, different deck. The Lover's card. So that's how you know that's the message. This person absolutely knows that you are their person. Absolutely. There's not a question in their mind. But like most people who meet their divine life partner, they weren't looking for a relationship. They weren't looking for it for whatever reason, whether they wanted to take a break from dating, or maybe they got a new job or a second job. They just don't have time for it. Maybe they just kind of lost interest. Maybe they just been dating around so many fucking people in 2024 that they finally said, you know what? It ain't worth it. Fuck it. I don't need it that bad. I don't need a person in my life so bad that I'm willing to bring one of these toxic, broken, fucked up fuckwads into my life. I don't need a relationship that bad. I'm good. Maybe that's what it was. And then they round the corner, bam, and bump right into you. And it's like, oh, shit. They're ready to settle down. They're actually on a healing journey too. This person, now, and again, another thing about this person is that they are not afraid of being alone. They are not scared of living a life by themselves. And as daunting as that sounds to say that, when you meet somebody who's not afraid of being alone, it's a breath of fresh fucking air. You know why? Because that means they're not desperate. Desperate people will lie to you. Desperate people will manipulate you. Desperate people will do whatever they have to do to get what they want. Doesn't matter who they have to lie to, who they have to cheat, who they have to steal from, who they have to manipulate, who they have to fuck over. If I'm not desperate, that means I'm not playing games with you. If you know that I'm not afraid of being alone, but I'm still here anyway, it's because I choose you. See what I'm saying? So when you're actually face to face with a person like that, it's like, I can tell that you're being real, that you're 100% authentic. They're on a healing journey too. That's another thing that's interesting about this person, is that they are actually healing from their past, which most people aren't, you know? Another thing that you're going to notice, and the Emperor again, this person is not playing games at all. Ooh, look at that. Emperor and the Empress. They feel like you are their counterpart. Damn, dog, it don't get much more solid than that. Let's just get the advice on this, because we pretty much got the outcome there. It is your person. That's the outcome. All right, what's the advice? What's the advice? What advice do we have? Make sure you're healing from your past. Do not allow the intense, invigorating explosion of emotions that comes along with meeting a new person distract you from the healing you need to do from the past. Okay? And do not get into a relationship with the sole intention of distracting yourself from healing that needs to be done from the past. That don't work that way. I know most of you know this, but for the little handful of you that don't know that, getting into a relationship because you're lonely and heartbroken is about as effective as going to the bar and getting drunk when you're lonely and heartbroken. It can distract you from it temporarily, but if you become dependent on that to keep you permanently distracted from it, it's eventually going to start causing serious problems. So also, I don't know why y'all, this advice is coming through, because this is going to be common sense to the majority of you. So for the majority of you that know this advice to be common sense, just chuck it. This is for the one or two of you that may not know this to be common sense. Close the door on any potential love interests. If you go into a relationship with a backup plan, I promise you it's going to fail. I promise you. Not it might, not it could. It's going to fail. If you go into a relationship thinking, well, if it don't work with you, then there's this person. That's going to fail. It's going to fail. It's a guarantee. It's going to fail. Promise you that. So, yeah, other than that, though, everything looks pretty straight to the gate. I don't even think that 90% of you needed that advice. Most of you already know that to be common fucking sense. But for the 1 or 2 of you that didn't know that to be common sense, that's some serious shit. You can fuck things up with your divine life partner. It is possible. I have seen it happen. Now, it's not very common. Trying to think of how many times I've only seen it happen a handful of times in my career. Only a handful of times. Only like 2 or 3 that I can remember. Where 2 people were divine life partners and, hey, they still fucked it up. It's possible. You can do that. Just because it's your person, that does not guarantee that the 2 of you are going to be happily ever after. You have to work to build happily ever after, even with your divine life partner. So just keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. All right. Now we're going to see what's going on with the current long-term partner. If you're not in a long-term relationship, or if you are, and there are no serious problems, issues, or concerns, this is not for you. What is happening between Pisces and the current long-term partner? What's happening, man? What's happening, man? Are we still on the same timeline? If timelines change, did they change for the better or for the worse? Lover's card reverse this time. So I don't know what's been going on with y'all or for how long. But whatever's been going on with y'all, for however long it's been going on, it has put a permanent dent in the connection between the 2 of you. And I don't think this dent can be popped out. So it'll probably never go back to what it once was. Queen of Cups. Okay, so, well, here's the thing. This is a karmic soulmate. And you all are still karmically tied. Now, this is where it gets slippery because clients that come to me for personal readings, the number of clients that come to me for personal readings dealing with a karmic contract makes up about 75 to 80% of the readings that I do. And of that 75 to 80%, about 60% have this one interesting thing in common. They cleared and completed the original karmic contract, and in the process of doing that, created more karma. That's the sticky glue trap that the karmic wheel is. Like when I think of the karmic wheel, I think of the sticky glue traps. You know, like in my house, part of our rental agreement is we have to have fucking sticky glue traps down by our garage. You know, and it sucks because every now and then it traps the wrong animal, and we got to pour oil on it to free it. I hate it, but it's part of our rental agreement. You know, but you know, you see like a bug gets in there and it steps on it, and then it breaks free, and then bam, steps on it again, and it breaks free, and then it, like, you can't get out of it. You think you break free, and then you take one step and you're stuck in it again. That's the karmic wheel, basically. And anyway, so I'm thinking that's what happened here with a lot of you. I think you cleared and completed your original karmic contract, but in the process of doing that, you created a bunch more karma. So it's looping around and looping around and looping around to the point to where now there's been a permanent dent in the connection between the 2 of you. Things will never be the same. Some of you dealing with a Sagittarius. Also have Gemini here. Okay, well, let's see how the current long-term partner feels about you. How does the current long-term partner feel about Pisces? What's their energy look like? What kind of person are they? See, they are completely unwilling to see the truth about the situation. They're refusing to look at the truth. Does that surprise you? No, this is absolutely not somebody you can trust. Devil card. Oh, man. Oh, uh-oh. You know what? We got the King of Swords reversed, and the Devil card, and the Seven of Swords. You know what that means, right? You know what that means, right? It's starting to smell a lot like narcissism. Now, I am no psychologist. I cannot diagnose anybody. But this energy feels very narcissistic in nature. You can have lots of narcissistic tendencies without being a diagnosed narcissist, right? So just to throw that little disclaimer out there, this is very narcissistic energy. Very much so. Because the King of Swords in the reverse plays mind games and gaslights people, right? He's a manipulator. He's a liar. He's a fucking dickhead. And of course, the Seven of Swords is the liar, the thief, the cheater, the sneaky, deceitful little fuckbag. And the Devil card kind of speaks for itself, right? So, all right. This person's absolutely playing the victim. This person's absolutely playing the victim. It's all your fault, Pisces. All your fault. They're always talking about boo-hoo, poor, pitiful me. Pisces is so crazy. Pisces is so toxic. Blah, 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 blah. It's all your fault, right? Well, they're trying to hang on to this. They're trying to hang in there. They're trying their damnedest, but they're refusing to acknowledge the truth. They're refusing to look at themselves. So it could be a Leo for some of you. I also have Taurus and Capricorn. Okie dokie. Well, let's get the advice on this. What is the advice? What's the advice? Whoa. Four of Swords. Well, I tell you what. Hang on. Three of Pentacles reversed. A decision needs to be made. Like soon. Like soon. Like soon. A decision needs to be made. If a decision is not made by Christmas, I think the universe will make that decision for you. So I think you know what I'm talking about here. Now, I don't like using this phrase, but just for the sake of this conversation, you know that little meme you see floating around social media that says you can't change somebody that doesn't see an issue with their own actions? I don't like using that phrase because you ain't responsible for changing anybody, right? So I try not to use that phrase, but you get the point, right? If somebody don't see an issue with their actions, they ain't going to change nothing. And when you're dealing with a professional victim, you ain't going to get nowhere with somebody like that. Ever. This person's a professional victim. And it's always going to be that way. So a decision needs to be made. Either it's time to bounce, or it's time to just step back and say, fuck it, and accept it and deal with it. I've given that advice to like 80% of the signs. Because, yeah, timelines, it's really hard to change timelines like that with a current person. The two of you in order for two people to change timelines, y'all both got to be working together on the same page at the same time. as a team to change timelines. And that's hard. That's hard. That's really hard. Sounds easy. That's even hard to do with your divine life partner, which I don't need a tarot card to tell you that this is not your person. I don't need a tarot card to tell you that. Doesn't mean there's not a soul contract, but this is not your person. But even if it was, you still got to work your ass off to change timelines with your divine life partner. That ain't no easy task. So, okie dokie. All right. Well, let's see what's going on with the past person. If you're not thinking about or inquiring about somebody you have a past history with, this is not for you. Boom, 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 boom. Is Pisces on the same timeline with the person from the past? What do we got here? Oh, Seven of Swords reversed. You might have an apology coming in. Ooh, they might be wanting to come forward and apologize. Yep. Oh, wow. Oh, hang on. Yeah, I'm thinking that there is going to be a clearing of the air. I think there is going to be a squashing of the beef, a burying of the hatchet. I think there is. Now, my only thing is there going to be a reconciliation attempt? I don't know. I'm not seeing anything indicating a reconciliation attempt. All I'm really seeing is clearing the air here. This kind of feels like your energy hoping for a reconciliation attempt. It doesn't really look so far like it's heading in that direction. Doesn't really look like a decision in regards to that is being made at all. So, Hierophant reversed, yeah. At least I feel like y'all gonna clear the air, though. Let's see what their actual motives and intentions are. What are their true feelings, motives, and intentions? What's their energy look like? What kind of person are they? I think they're kind of giving up on this relationship. So as far as the two of you actually being together, they're throwing in the white towel on that. It's not really telling me why. It's not telling me why, though. Why not? Why is this person throwing in the white towel on this? They feel like they learned their lesson. They feel like they learned a lesson. They're walking away from this. They just feel a sense of completion with this. They feel like this relationship served its purpose, and they're ready to put it behind them. So I think they just kind of want to be single. They're ready to just put this behind them, clear the air, squash the beef, let bygones be bygones, and just put it behind them. I don't think they're trying to settle down with anybody right now. Anybody. They may have thrown in the white towel on love altogether, possibly. Let's see how this situation plays out. What's the outcome of this? Are y'all going to clear the air? Is it going to be an amicable squashing of the beef? What's the outcome? How's it playing out? Strength card reverse. Okay, communication, closure. Closure. You don't, well, okay. See, this is usually how closure works, right? Most of the time, not all the time, but most of the time, when closure happens, at least one person walks away from that closure without feeling like they got closure. So you might end up walking away with more questions than answers. It may not feel quite right. You know, on paper, you know what to say, you know what the right thing to say is, but it feels kind of forced and fake, and it doesn't feel right. You're walking away from this feeling kind of disappointed, kind of let down, kind of cringy and weird, like your questions haven't been answered, but that's normal. That's normal. As long as you can let that closure sink in, you will start noticing yourself untying from this person energetically. It might take a while. When I say that, okay, paint this picture in your mind. Imagine you and this person are connected with thousands and thousands and thousands of little energy cords that are like the size of spider webs. Just imagine that. Like wherever this person is, you and this person are connected with thousands of little spider web energy cords. And they're just all over you. You don't realize it, but you feel it. They're all over you. Well, you get this closure, and then those little energy cords start untying one by one by one. You don't even notice it at first because you still got all these energy cords all over you. But after a few weeks, after a few months, you know, they start from up here and then work their way down. And then after about 3, 4, 5 months, then you're untied from here and you're starting to really feel relieved from this connection. Not too much. Then after about a year, you only have maybe 1 or 2 of those little energy cords left, and you don't even notice, you don't even feel their energy anymore. That makes sense? That's kind of the way this typically tends to work. So that's good, though. That is a good thing. Let's get the advice here. What's the advice? Fucking deck don't want to use. I keep saying I'm going to do deck swaps, and I never do it. I got all these other decks in my drawers over there. I'm getting so tired of these. What's the advice? Advice is for Pisces. What's the advice? 9 of Pentacles. Stand tall and stand strong, man, even when it's hard. Do what you know needs to be done, regardless of how it feels. See, every now and then, the challenge of your average water sign, usually water signs have a hard time swimming to the surface and getting some air so they can think clearly. And, you know, on the other side of that coin, your average air sign sometimes struggles to dive down and swim to the deep, deep, deep depths of the emotional waters, you know, because they get scared and freaked out. They think they're going to drown and die. So every now and then, air sign has to face their fears and swim all the way to the depths of the ocean. And the water sign has to face their fears and swim to the surface and get some air so they can think clearly and do what needs to be done, no matter how bad it hurts. Because a lot of you who are still energetically tied to a past person, that energetic weight is the only thing blocking your divine life partner from coming in. So, all right, y'all. I feel like those were the messages that my Pisces family needed to hear. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. Thanks again for tuning in and playing along. Don't forget to check the description of the video if you would like to find out how to schedule a personal reading. And I'm out of here now, y'all. Thanks again for tuning in. I'll see you sometime between now and the rest of all eternity. Stay blessed.